Good morning, good evening, based on wherever you are. Thank you for joining our global support group. The purpose of this group is to encourage adoption of wellness habits. Once again, welcome all. In these uncertain times, we can be proactive and choose to build strong immunity rather than choosing anxiety or fear. Diet is the key to wellness. We all know that. We also know that more fruits and veggies are good for us, and we must cut down on sugary sodas and processed food. How to do that is the challenge, and in this group, that's what we encourage. One simple idea is simply not to buy the junk food and keep fruits and veggies handy and visible. Today, we will explore diet in more detail with Dr. Vivek Shambharat. We will start with the music with Amrita Rao and end with laughter yoga with Dr. Madan Kataria. So we have a very interesting hour. Stay tuned. And now, for wellness, we must be conscious, present, or mindful. And how to do that with music? Nada yoga is the ancient art of connecting with divinity and the entire cosmos through sound. There has been a great amount of research on the physical effects of music on our body and mind, including how it heals diseases and is called music therapy. And for this therapy, we have Amrita Rao with years of experience as a performer and tutor of Hindustani classical music. She is a graded artist of All India Radio in both Indian classical and light music genres. She collaborates with other artists and plays Indian style of music on kalimba. And now she will bring us to the present moment with her music. Amrita?
Thank you so much, Dinesh, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. Talking about music therapy, um, the first structured use of music therapy in the Western world was considered to be in the aftermath of World Wars One and Two. That's when the musicians would travel to hospitals and play music for soldiers who were suffering from war related emotional and physical trauma. For me personally, sound and music are, of course, a medium that provides sensory pleasure, but there's much more to it that I've realized over the years. Not just physically, but it has definitely provided a deep fulfillment on every level, especially after a good practice or a good concert. I've experienced a heightened amount of happiness, self satisfaction, and also a feeling of being complete. Coming to the ragas, the music itself, ragas are classified according to the most appropriate time of the day. So it's the sur that defines what is the most appropriate time of the day it has to be played or sung in. And to the predominant rasa or the emotion that they evoke. Bhairav is a morning raga. It's called the king of morning ragas, and different morning ragas evoke different moods in a listener. Bhairav is a raga that is associated with Shiva. You might know that Bhairav is also another name of Shiva. Bhairav is a very meditative rag and usually sung after you wake up and you are ready with your prayers. The rag awakens the soul with tranquility and calm. If you can picture a serene snow-capped hills where Shiva is sitting and meditating, and there is a brimming river flowing silently, and in the horizon the sun heralds the break of the day. That is the picture you get when you think of Rag Bhairav or when you listen to Rag Bhairav. Let me start with a little bit of alap in Rag Bhairav and then slowly increase the tempo by singing a bandish or a chota kyal or a song in that is composed in Rag Bhairav. And then there is this concept of Bharat, where we increase the tempo uh, to show how entertaining the rag is, using the swaras that it has, the notes that it has.
Yes.
Re ga ma pa ga ma dha pa ma pa dha ni sa dha ni sa re sa re sa ni sa dha dha pa ma pa ga ma re ga re ga re sa. जागो मोहन प्यारे तुम, जागो मोहन प्यारे तुम, जागो मोहन प्यारे तुम, सावरी सूरत मोहे मन ही भावे, सावरी सूरत मोहे मन ही भावे, सुंदर श्याम हमारे सुंदर श्याम हमारे जागो मोहन प्यारे तुम जागो मोहन प्यारे प्रात समय उठी बानोदय भय प्रात समय उठी बानोदय भय गोल बाल सब भूपति आए ग्वाल बाल सब भूपति आए तुम्हारे दरस को प्यारे ठारे तुम्हारे दरस को प्यारे ठारे उठी उठी नंद किशोर उठी उठी नंद किशोर जागो मोहन प्यारे जागो मोहन प्यारे जागो 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 मोहन प्यारे तुम आ जागो मोहन प्यारे तुम सावरी सूरत मोहे मन ही भावे सुंदर श्याम हमारे सुंदर श्याम हमारे जागो मोहन जागो मोहन जागो मोहन प्यारे आ आ आ Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Amrita, for your soul-stirring music. I feel a deep sense of connection, and this is so nice to have you start our program with this. So thank you. So those of you have just joined us, you just heard Amrita Rao in Rag Bhairavi, and her music is so therapeutic and connects us all. And now today's topic is diet to improve our immunity. One of the key important factors, and we have Dr. Vivek Shanbhag to enlighten us and share his wisdom. Dr. Vivek Shanbhag is an MD Ayurveda, and he's a licensed naturopathic doctor with 30 years of experience as an Ayurveda expert. He's a professor and a best-selling author, director of a team of 6 integrative health experts of the natural medicine and Ayurveda. He has a clinic here in San Jose, beautiful clinic. As primary care doctor, his team uses advanced diagnostics and clinically proven herbal medicine with modifications in lifestyles and diet to treat acute illnesses and permanently reverse chronic diseases. And Vivek, one of the things I share with you is that what we believe is probably one of the most important thing in our healing. And you said that, and I totally resonate with that. So we must carefully examine our beliefs. And today is the day for us to learn something new and start practicing those new beliefs or new habits. So with that, here is Dr. Vivek Shanbhag.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dinesh ji, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you for all of the wellness group audience and participants. And also thank you to the ICC Cracking the Wellness Code group for organizing this. Amrita Rao started the morning with a wonderful awaking Rag Bhairav. And when you talk about the topic of today, that is immunity boosting diet and nutrition, I think one of the first immunity boosting diet is the music for your mind and soul. So that was definitely very warming and very awakening music that we started with today. Now, when you want to boost our immunity with diet, of course, like Dinesh said, including fresh vegetables and fruits is the common sense. Then to avoid sugars, specifically white crystalline sugar, is a major hurdle in immunity boosting. So avoiding white crystalline sugar. Now you can have molasses, you can have natural honey, but white crystalline sugar and artificial sweeteners, they become a big hurdle in boosting immunity. Also, deep fried foods or foods with hydrogenated oils, junk food, and dairy, specifically dairy that is processed in modern dairy industry, slows down the metabolism, slows down the digestion, increases the congestion, and reduces immunity. Now, in enhancing nutrition to boost your immunity, you can use various culinary herbs, which are also known as spices. There is this misunderstanding that spices are used only for flavor and aroma and bringing color to our diet. But I say that if we are just having foods, to increase the level of the foods to pharmaceutical nutrition, you add culinary herbs or spices. Now we use various types of herbs and spices, but the most important herbs or spices to boost immunity in nutrition, as everybody knows, is turmeric. And so turmeric is immune boosting. It is anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, a natural antibiotic, a natural anti-allergy and antihistamine. So Dinesh, if you can put the slide. First slide, please. Is it up? Dinesh, is your first slide up?
Yes.
Okay, so it is not visible for me.
It's prevention and immunity enhancing.
Correct, correct. Is it visible to the audience?
So Dinesh, you want to do the screen share and
Yeah, okay.
Correct. Thank you, Sachin.
yeah.
Can you see it now?
Now we can't see it here.
Yeah, you have to do the screen share.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
No.
Not yet. Not yet.
So Dinesh, when you do the screen share,
Yeah.
you will see the PowerPoint and you have to click it and then share. Otherwise it won't appear here. Yeah, now yes.
Yes, okay, so now we can.
And do the click slideshow.
Yeah. So now you're fine now. Now you can go to the, when I tell you the second one, you can do, this is fine. You can stay on this slide right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you can see in the slide shared by Dinesh here, for prevention and for immunity enhancing, the first thing I tell both my patients and students is to fill up a thermos, okay, with pure hot water and take sips of hot water every 30 minutes. There are many things that this hot water does. Okay, it first keeps your throat moist, it increases circulation, and it prevents any virus infection. Also, as you sip it every 30 minutes, okay, any contamination that has happened in the throat or mouth gets washed to the stomach, where we have the acid that completely kills the infecting the viruses. Another important thing that we have been recommending our patients, okay, for prevention and for immunity enhancing is nasal moisturization, okay, with steam inhalation. So you just boil water in a pot. If you happen to have mint leaves, you can put mint leaves. If you have eucalyptus oil, you can put 1 drop of eucalyptus oil in there and inhale that steam, and that improves the moisturization of the mucous membrane in the nose, and again prevents any infection. It boosts immunity. Another way, if you do not have time for steam inhalation, is to put a drop of plain sesame oil, cooking grade sesame oil, put 1 drop in each nostril. You can even take a Q-tip, dip it in the oil, and use the Q-tip to moisturize the nasal passage. The third important thing that we have been recommending is a gargle with 1 cup hot water and put about ½ teaspoon of salt. Sea salt is the best, and then a ¼ teaspoon of turmeric powder. So usually we even keep a mixture of salt and turmeric, and we just put that mixture, so you can keep that in your bathroom or near your kitchen sink. And every morning you start with this simple gargle of 1 cup hot water, ½ teaspoon sea salt, and ¼ teaspoon turmeric powder. And earlier, as I was saying, turmeric powder is one of the best natural anti-inflammatory, immune booster, antiseptic, antibiotic, and anti-allergic. So much of clinical research done on turmeric all over the world. Now, for nutrition and for lifestyle routines to boost immune system, we recommend for people who do include animal products to take fish oil 1000 milligrams twice daily because of its immune boosting and anti-inflammatory properties. But if you are a vegetarian, you can skip that. And in your diet, everybody should increase the use of turmeric. Then the relative of turmeric is ginger. So fresh ginger is the best. So you can grate about half teaspoon of fresh ginger in your 1 cup of tea, or have ginger in your salad or soup. And that ginger has amazing properties of reducing inflammation, boosting immunity, enhancing digestion. So turmeric and ginger are the most important. Then garlic, and I usually do not recommend using raw garlic. So garlic to be chopped and then slightly roasted, not blackened, slightly roasted, either in coconut oil, which again is immune boosting oil, or if coconut oil is not easily accessible or not a part of your culinary habit, then using organic ghee or organic butter. So garlic and onion, both of them slightly roasted, are very helpful in boosting immune system. And then black pepper is known as the most important immune booster for respiratory system. So black pepper, either cooked or freshly ground as later on addition, is also fine. One dietary guideline that is helpful for boosting immunity is avoiding raw salads or cold items, specifically in cooler seasons. In summer, it is fine, but during winter and spring, preferring cooked hot foods is the way to go for boosting the immune system. And like Dinesh earlier said, avoiding dairy, sugar, artificial sweeteners, processed junk food, deep fried or saturated animal fat is very important for enhancing your immunity. Now, besides these diet precautions, one thing that is very important for boosting immunity is your routines or lifestyle modifications. Everyone knows the importance of exercise. And nowadays, many of us who are in lockdown are complaining we don't have access to our gym, but we can do floor exercise. So we can do sit-ups, we can do push-ups, we can do crunches, squats, and of course, those of us who are familiar with and comfortable with yoga, Surya Namaskar is one of the best ways to get your exercise. And if you can do about anywhere between 10 to 20 Surya Namaskar, one after another in a sequence, that can give you wonderful, complete exercise. Like Dinesh was mentioning, you can calm down your mind by using music or mindfulness or even meditation. So a proper dhyana done for about 15-20 minutes is very enhancing for immune system. And most important is sleep. Sleep is where the whole immune system gets again replenished, reboosted, and fully enhanced. So sleeping for about 8 hours, and then when to sleep is also important. So many people go to bed after midnight and then wake up at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and they say, I got my 8 hours of sleep, but that is not going to be immune boosting. The real immune boosting is from at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I would say usually not to stay awake after 10 o'clock, because by the circadian rhythm, the closer we go to bed and to sunset, the better it is for the immune system. But also we should leave a gap of about at least 2 hours between our dinner and our bedtime. So usually we recommend going to bed between 10 p.m. and then wake up around 6 a.m. And in the morning, you do your exercise, you do your meditation, and that is enhancing for the immune system. Now, when you want to really focus on using herbs, besides using culinary herbs or spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, onion, and black pepper, you can also take as a nutritional supplement every day these 3 herbs. And there is a lot of research done all over the world, and specifically in today's challenging times of COVID-19, the Central Council for Research in Ayurveda in Delhi, India, and the various research institutes in India have been recommending these 3 herbs based on their clinical evidence. So the 3 herbs that are recommended to be taken every day as standardized herbal extract are curcumin, which is an extract from the turmeric that we earlier talked about. Then tulsi. Tulsi, we all of us know, is the holy basil that is grown in every household, whether you live in village or in city. Every household keeps a plant of tulsi. Now, those of us who are living outside India, here also many of us have been growing a plant of tulsi. So if you have fresh tulsi accessible, you can wash 2 leaves clean and then chew on them every morning. If for some reason you don't have access to fresh tulsi, then you can buy tulsi extract capsules and you can take that. And then finally, the most important herb that is for immune boosting is guduchi. It is known as botanically Tinospora cordifolia. It has heart-shaped leaves. Okay, and this one, before there was pharmaceutical medicine where we used Tylenol and aspirin to reduce fever, every household used to have this white powder from the stem of this guduchi, and that was considered as the first home remedy done as per Ayurveda and yoga to fight the fever in the child or in the adult. So when the fever started or when there was any infection starting in a child or adult, every household will use this white powder of this botanical medicine, guduchi, also known as Tinospora cordifolia. Now, specifically during this COVID-19 pandemic, all over India, the government has been recommending. So there have been presentations and slides that have been shared with all of the primary healthcare centers there to use guduchi. So all of these herbs are natural anti-inflammatories. They are antiseptic, immune booster, and liver tonics. So those are the things, okay, that can be done. And for people who want to boost their immunity on a long-term basis, they usually use vitamin C or antioxidants, and those are usually in Ayurveda combined in the form of the amalaki preparation. So amalaki is the amala gooseberry, okay, which is known as the best natural source of vitamin C and antioxidants and bioflavonoids. And that amala or amalaki, which is a gooseberry, it is used as candied gooseberry in households. It is also used combined with salt and ginger after meals to enhance digestion. So that amlaki is where the vitamin C can be absorbed and digested naturally. And many times when you take synthetic vitamin C as ascorbic acid, that can irritate the stomach or cause diarrhea, whereas this amalaki or avla, which is a berry, also called as an Indian gooseberry, so that amla has vitamin C that does not irritate the digestive system, that does not ever cause diarrhea, and that does not create any acidity. So that amla is prepared into this very tonic jam called Chyawanprash, which everybody is familiar with, and that is one of the regular immune boosting tonics that can be taken. So the next slide, please, Dinesh. There we go. So Dinesh had asked me to talk a little bit about the Ayurvedic detoxification. So besides drinking hot water, doing a salt turmeric gargle, and including fresh fruits and vegetables, avoiding sugar, another thing that is recommended in Ayurveda to boost immunity is to do natural detox. And Ayurveda mentions that langanam paramaushadam, that is eating light or eating less quantity, eating warming foods, okay, that will be enhancing your metabolic rate. Those helps in detoxification. So langana is not complete fasting. Langana is actually having lighter herbal teas or vegetable and grain soups, or having lighter meals like khichdi, which are made up of moong dal and basmati rice and various vegetables and herbs like, once again, cumin, fennel, coriander, ginger, black pepper. So those soups and khichdis are very helpful in detoxing. Now Ayurveda uses various steps of natural cleansing and detoxification, and these are known as panchakarma. So this is a whole process of doing cleansing, and many people can do it on their own, and people who have chronic diseases or who have more metabolic disorders like diabetes or heart disease, arthritis, asthma, high blood pressure, they usually get panchakarma done under the guidance of trained Ayurvedic doctors and panchakarma therapists. But detoxification can also be done at home with some learning and with some training. So one simple way of detoxification is using herbal teas, which can be ginger tea or lemon tea or green tea, and then vegetable soups and khichdis. Then using more deepana pachana, that is more warming herbs in cooking, and those can be like asafoetida or cumin, cinnamon. If those herbs are used in diet, then there is what is called as deepana pachana. It strokes your digestive fire and it burns the toxins off. Of course, the most important thing, what we talked earlier, is exercise and yoga routines like Surya Namaskar and pranayama. So certain pranayama like Kapalabhati and Bhastrika are known to enhance your digestion and boost your immune system and help the detox of the respiratory system. One another thing that Ayurveda recommends is using oil for a self-massage. So again, plain cooking range organic sesame oil. If you do a quick 5-minute self-oil massage right before your shower, that's very helpful, okay, for your boosting your immune system. And then using the nasya or the nasal drop, or same way, another drop of coconut oil in your ear, that keeps your senses, senses of hearing and your sense organ of smell and your respiratory system, the ear, nose, throat, it keeps it detoxed and cleansed. Now, if you sweat with exercise or sweat in sun or sweat in your shower with the hot steam, that sweating also is very helpful for detoxification. And then those of us who remember our grandmothers or grandparents asking us to take castor oil for as a purgative on a Sunday, that was done as a home detoxing or cleansing. Same way, anima therapy, which used to be used with knowledge and proper training, is also another way of detoxing. So these are some natural cleansing and detoxing that Ayurveda recommends that can be done by yourself at home. And so the next slide, please, Dinesh. So for many of our students and patients, okay, we tell them that you can do it yourself, a whole body natural detox, weight loss, and rejuvenation. So this is a program that we help patients over the online by guiding them throughout a whole week of detoxification. And this is something that people can do on their own without having to go to a clinic or without having to undergo any specific treatment. And then it is all doctor and nutritionist guided, where we give email instructions. And we also do Zoom classes to teach our students and patients about how they can do it on their own. So now you can go back to the first slide, Dinesh, that we skipped. All the way to the number 1. Yes. So thank you, everyone. And I'll be happy to answer questions, and we'll be also happy to share any recipes, okay, based on what the interests are. So we have a team of 6 integrative health experts for last 30 years, practicing as California licensed naturopathic doctors and Ayurveda experts. And we encourage everyone to boost their immune system by doing simple things like sipping hot water 5 cups a day, doing a simple salt, turmeric gargle every morning, 1 cup water, half teaspoon sea salt, 1/4 teaspoon turmeric, and then inhaling steam or using 1 drop of sesame oil. You can just dip a Q-tip and apply it internally, and then avoiding sugar, reducing dairy, reducing junk food or hydrogenated or deep fried food, increasing fresh vegetables and fruits, including more turmeric, ginger, garlic, onion, black pepper in diet, including more hot warming foods like herb teas or soups or khichdis, exercising every day or doing Surya Namaskar every day, meditation, getting 8 hours of sleep, and listening to music, doing your prayer. One important thing that we always recommend is getting some sunshine for at least about half an hour. So best way to combine sunshine and exercise is doing your walking in the morning sun or doing your Surya Namaskar in the morning sun or the afternoon sun. Same way, ventilating your living space. So opening the windows, okay, during a warm day and let the room ventilate is also very helpful for your immune system. And last but not least, like what Dinesh said, not to panic, not to get anxious by watching news, but to stay calm and to stay relaxed is also a major immune booster. So thank you, Dinesh.
Thank you, Vivek ji, for your sharing your wisdom. It was extremely useful. And those of you have been trying, you already know what powerful, simply the turmeric and ginger herbal tea does. And now is the time for questions and answers.
I wanted to ask Vivek
Yes, go ahead.
about the ideal time for eating when you are practicing a 16 hours fasting and an 8 hours eating period.
Well, the ideal eating time should be during the warmer parts of the day when your digestive fire is optimum. So that can be somewhere between morning 10 o'clock all the way till evening 6 o'clock. So those hours are when our digestive fire, all of our digestive juices are optimum. And as a result, if you have your meals between morning 10 till evening 6, again, that is not by setting the alarm. In summer, it could be even as early as morning 8. And in winter, it could be even later. So depending upon what part of the world you are in, what season it is, what your age is, what your profession is, what your daily routine is, you need to customize it for. So somebody who wakes up at 5 o'clock and has to go to work, and if their work is a construction worker where they are very physically active, it's okay for them to have their breakfast as early as 6 o'clock in the morning. And then if they are a physical laborer who is putting in 10 hours of physical labor, then they can even have their dinner as late as 7 o'clock. But for the rest of us who are not physical laborers and who have more sedentary profession or who are above age of 50, the ideal time is to eat between morning 10 and before evening 6. So that will be a short answer. But always things have to be customized and individualized for each person's personal circumstances.
One meal or more?
You can have one or more meals. Usually you can have 2 or 3 meals during that time, again, depending on your age. For example, Vibhay, as you see, for your age, I would say only 2 meals should be sufficient between 10 to 6.
But isn't one meal better because, then you give more digestion and fasting time?
I wouldn't say one meal is ideal unless based on your metabolism, your doctors have recommended that for you. So again, it has to be individualized for each person. So, but usually for most people, I would say 2 or 3 meals between 10 to 6 is what is required. But if somebody has very slow metabolism, if somebody is energy needs are very low, maybe they can sustain with only 1 meal, but that is not true for most of the humanity.
Thank you.
I just want to let you know that Amrita has a hard stop. She has to leave. So any question for her, you can pose at this point. Yeah.
Amrita, that was very divine singing. Okay, you really brought in the morning sattva, the creative energy, and done very in a heart-touching way. So thank you for starting everybody's morning in such a sattvic, pure, the real awakening of body, mind, and consciousness with that Rag Bhairav. It was very sweetly done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you again, Amrita. As you can see in the chat room, there are many people who are thanking you and appreciating your music.
Yes, thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure.
Any other question for anyone, Dr. Vivek Shambhag?
So Vivek, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So you recommend reducing dairy. So obviously people will have the question, what substitutes you might recommend for dairy?
Sachin, a very good question from a very knowledgeable person. Sachin, yourself, having been practicing yoga and Ayurveda, the question is important. It's not the dairy that is bad. It is the current modern Western dairy industry that is creating a dairy in such a way that it has become very congesting and heavy food to digest. Hundreds of years ago, when there was natural dairy available from a non-genetically engineered cows who were freely roaming and consuming variety of fodder and getting physical activity, that milk was not congesting, there was not metabolism slowing down. It is today's modern, westernized, industrialized dairy industry that has created this problem. So the substitute for dairy can be for people who have who can digest soy milk or who can digest almond milk. They can have that, and vegetables and nuts and seeds give all of the nutrients that you can get from dairy. So if you reduce dairy or stop dairy, that is not going to compromise your nutrition. If you include enough of vegetables and nuts and seeds and lentils. So various types of lentils and grains can provide you all of the nutrients that milk provides. So including organic almonds, walnuts, pecans, using seeds like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds regularly in diet, and then using lentils like mung beans, okay, or the black-eyed peas, or various types of smaller size beans will give you all of the nutrients that you need.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Vivek, and thank you, Sachin. We are approaching almost the end of our hour. Just a reminder that these global support group sessions are brought to you by ICC, the Crack the Wellness Code team, and the Institute of Conscious Dialogue. And the purpose of the support group is to encourage, number one, learning of the new ideas, and more important, adoption of the wellness best practices. Knowing is power and learning to do is superpower. So pick one idea and practices for this week and share with us next Saturday. We're going to be talking about yoga next Saturday. And we do have time now for people to share what they have been practicing, or if there have been any questions, any successes. And Daya?
Yeah, I have shop at Whole Foods usually, and not always that happy with the produce, but I enjoy the environment, and my grandson worked there for a while in Walnut Creek. And I've started ordering organic food from, and I highly recommend them, from GoldenGateOrganics.com. And they deliver to the door the day the food's been picked in a big box. And I stayed up really last night just stuffing my refrigerator with more food than I could imagine. They were very generous, even just for one senior who lives alone.
One question, Vivek, which is, how about cheese, organic cheese or homemade yogurt? Is goat milk any better?
Yes, okay. Goat milk is definitely on the continuum from what is undesirable to what is desirable. I would say that cow milk that is specifically sold in Western grocery stores here in US is more on the undesirable side, but the goat milk is on the more desirable side. And then organic cheeses in small amounts for lunch are good, because at lunchtime is when your digestive fire is the optimum. And if you have small amounts of organic cheese, it will not cause you any congestion if you have it at lunchtime. I usually do not recommend cheese at the first meal, that is the breakfast, or at the dinner time.
Thank you, Vivek. And
Sure.
Any other question?
And then people can always refer to our website that I have put there, yogaayurveda.org. We have a lot of other useful information that you can access there at yogaayurveda.org.
Vivek, here is another question. Is a glass of red wine recommended? So
Well,
much.
again, Ayurveda is a individualized and customized diet. So people have different types of metabolism. So people who have cooler and slower metabolism, which is called as Kapha body type, which is a more of earth and water body type, for them, red wine is warming and digestion increasing. Now there is another body type which is fiery, which is Pitta body type. So these people usually have warmer skin, more flushed skin. They usually have very strong appetite. They can get upset easily, irritated or angry easily. They sweat very easily. They have a receding hairline. So that fiery body type, which in Oriental medicine is called as Yang, or in modern physiology it is called as type A personality. For type A personality, I do not usually recommend wine or any alcohol because it's like putting kerosene on fire. They're already fiery mind body type. The person has already hot metabolism. So for them, alcohol will increase more inflammation, both in their digestive system, in their joints, and also in their skin, in their eyes. So for fiery metabolism, alcohol is not recommended. But for cooler and drier metabolism, alcohol or a red glass of red wine is okay.
Thank you, Vivek.
Sure.
Any other question or any other comment any would like to make? Any experience sharing? Bal, go ahead. Let me unmute you.
Intermittent
Go ahead.
thing, and I think
Dr. Bal Gupta.
yeah, I find it very, very useful for me, and my wellness has increased because of that. So I want to thank you, Dinesh, for that. That's all.
Thank you, Bal. Anyone else would like to make a comment or experience sharing from last week, what you practiced?
Dinesh, this gentleman said that juicing takes away the nutrients and so it's not recommended. Can the doctor comment on that?
I just use green juices mostly.
Yeah,
Green.
go ahead, Vivek.
I do not believe that juicing takes away nutrients. If you juice it properly, again, it is about how do you combine different things. So if you just juice only sweet tasting fruits and sweet tasting vegetables, then that will slow down the rate of digestion. So you should combine properly. So for example, when you are juicing, you should have maybe a sweet tasting a vegetable like carrot. Then you should also have a more bitter and pungent vegetables like kale or spinach. And then you might also want to add a small piece of fresh ginger in there. So now when you have combined it properly, you are able to digest it properly. But if you just put only carrots and beet and apple, everything that is only sweet tasting, then you are loading that with more sugar, and then that will slow down the digestion and enhance and absorption of the nutrients. So balancing properly what you are juicing, and of course making sure what is the source of what you are juicing. So the source should be very fresh and organic vegetables if you're juicing them, and if you're taking them in small amounts. So never have juice, okay, a big tall glass, okay, gulp all within 5 minutes. So take smaller amounts of juice, and always take the juice within 3 minutes of you having juiced it, because the more you keep it out there, it gets oxidized and it loses its nutrient levels. So always have maybe only half a cup of juice that is freshly prepared in less than 3 minutes of juicing with properly combined fruits and vegetables and herbs.
Vivek, thank you. Another question, how about Karela or bitter gourd?
As the name says, it is bitter. And if you can tolerate a bitter, then you can even combine it with sweeter fruits and vegetables. It is very helpful in improving your glucose metabolism. So Karela is known as an anti-diabetic nutrient. In fact, The botanical name of it is Momordica charanthia. It is used to prepare an extract and is used in Ayurveda for treating diabetes and hypoglycemia. So you can juice it, you can also cook it, you can do saute it. So Karela is an excellent vegetable if you know how to use it properly and if you know what you are using it for. So for people with sugar metabolism problems, people who know that their blood sugar level goes high, including Karela in their diet is very helpful.
Thank you, Vivek. Any other comment, any other question? Please raise your hand if you are on video. And if you're not on video, if you're on phone, you can just send me a message on chat. Okay, Prakash Ambegaonkar. Go ahead, Dr. Prakash Ambegaonkar.
Yeah, Dinesh, thanks for reminding me of this wonderful program. And it had lots of things that I really would like to follow up later. Like I was brought up in a family where Ayurveda was everything. My grandfather, my father, my brother. So I appreciate all the details about the Ayurveda that were discussed today, and like to follow up with the doctor there. And thanks for again
for joining us next week. Don't forget to tune in again. We're going to have a wonderful show on yoga. Yoga, what that means, yoga beyond the relaxation and exercise, as we know, yoga, its real meaning. And but before you leave, those of you who were here last weekend, Dr. Madan Kataria, founder of the Laughter Yoga, was here, and he taught us some methods to laugh. Do you remember them? And if you don't, then we'll just remind you. This is the time for about 2 minutes of laughter before we say bye. So let's start.